Hello everyone, today I'm going to take you through a quick explanation of some different skills that you can develop and methods that you can use to conduct a successful research interview. As an educational research interviewer, it is important to develop a rapport with your interviewee. There must be a sense of trust and respect that is established between the two parties in order for the interview to flow naturally. You should also take into consideration what location you intend to use for the interview process. Academics should tend to shy away from setting their interviews at university institutions if at all possible, and that's because these spaces can be viewed by interviewees as imposing ivory towers of knowledge. You should select a location that provides the participant with a safe and comfortable environment in which they want to share their personal beliefs and experiences. For example, you can select a library and book a private room there. In terms of interviewing behavior, you should set certain expectations for yourself. Try and act natural and don't become someone that you're not purely because of social perception. If you expect your participants to be open and honest with you, you will need to grant them the same respect. You also need to be mindful of the culture of the group that is being interviewed. If, for example, you are interviewing inner city kids of a lower socioeconomic bracket, then don't wear expensive clothes or jewelry because that's insensitive to their situation. And you also need to respect the individual that's being interviewed. So this means no insensitive comments or criticism of their beliefs and actions. Don't interrupt them when they're speaking and let the participant have the spotlight. And this is because you don't want to speak too much. It's their data you're interested in, not your own. There are certain behaviors that you can adopt in terms of asking interview questions. For example, you can repeat a question you just asked an interviewee in a different way. So what does this enable you to do? It enables you to check for your own understanding and also provides the participant with an opportunity to shed more light on their initial thoughts. And if the participant you are interviewing is not forthcoming with their answers or they respond with short answers, try asking that he or she repeat their statement. And this can be helpful if you believe if their statement is incomplete or doesn't really meet the whole criteria of the question. You should also avoid asking leading questions. For example, how angry did that make you? These types of questions presuppose an answer and can lead your interviewee to respond in a certain way. Instead, try asking more open-ended questions. These will allow the participant to explore the area of interest without overtly pointing them within a precise direction. Also avoid asking yes or no type answer questions. These can easily turn an interview into an interrogation. One mistake that rookie interviewers most commonly make is asking several questions at once. Only ask your participant one question at a time, and this will allow them to focus on the question and gives them some time to think about and formulate their answer. Two extremely important parts of interviewing are active listening, and in part with that, not interrupting the participant. By actively listening, you can evaluate the interviewee's response and address any areas that you believe require further investigation. And in terms of interrupting the participant, you can easily alter his or her train of thought, and your participant can forget the point that they're trying to make. So if you want to speak to an interesting idea that they brought up, jot your idea down, wait until there's a break in the discussion, and then bring it up. Okay, so although you will be using a recording device during the course of the interview, don't underestimate the power of note-taking. Notes can be useful as they can help you formulate new questions and assist in moving the interview along. They can also help to facilitate the analysis portion of your research. However, there is a big caveat with this. You must be discreet in your note-taking. Your attention should be focused first and foremost on your participant and the conversation. Okay, note-taking is always an addition to that. In terms of recording devices, invest in a good recorder which easily picks up sound. And you should always back up your recordings, so make sure to save your recorded data not only on your computer or a USB stick, and this is immediately following the interview. Another great tip is to practice your interview ahead of time. You can try pilot testing your questions on your family and friends and recording that interview. From this, you'll be able to see any mistakes that you've made and if your questions make sense. Try playing back your interview and transcribing for practice as well. This will give you a really good idea of how often you interrupt the participant, any of your sort of idiosyncratic behaviorisms, and if you're actually actively listening to the interviewee. So to wrap up, this has been an explanation of some different skills that you might need and methods that you can use to conduct a research interview. Thanks for watching.